More about China's industrial recovery during the third quarter of this year. We have our friend Professor Liu Zhiqin, a senior researcher at the Chongyang Institute of Financial Studies of Renmin University of China. Thank you for joining us, Professor. What are the major highlights of China's industrial performance during the third quarter?
Frankly speaking, the overall picture of the first quarter, the industrial performance in China is quite nice. I have to say, use the satisfy the word to describe this outcome of this development. From 2 points we have to discuss. One point is that the new technology and the new industrial products have been emerging very quickly in the first quarter. This is becoming more important in the development of China's economy, especially by the restructuring of our industrialization. And the secondary is also the high-tech technologies. The production is in a high speed, so to meet the demands from outside. So this is a very nice picture that we see in the first 3 quarters. On the other side, we have to see that we have some two vibrations. That's what we call the vibration as a challenge as neutral. Vibration in domestic market and the vibration in international market, mainly because of the commodity price hiking and also the power shortage crunching within some certain areas in the provinces in China. That made some more difficulties, unexpected impact on China's development. But all these are under control and well managed in the future. So we believe that in the next 3 months to come, China will be further develop, and also the general situation economically will be very resilient.
Right. You mentioned the current energy shortages, that power cuts in some provinces surprise some people. Will that be a major impact on industrial output in the fourth quarter?
I think from partially, I have to say this is yes, that we should not ignore the impact of the power shortage. As we know that in the past years, such a scenario happened also regularly, and time to time have some damage and losses in China's development, especially in the extremist weather conditions. And China's power shortage could harm and damage some provinces. This is quite true. We have already such experiences how to deal with such difficulties. But the impact on the economic of the fourth quarter is limited, because as we know that China has already adopted some effective measures to avoid such big problems. First, from the top government, we have already know the international market is turbulence in the commodity price. So we have already enough policy tools to deal all these unexpected policy difficulties outside. And secondly, we have to see, we have to restructure the industrial organizations in China that to meet and to safeguard the energy saving industries, that in order to make more effective business for the energy consumption. And the third, of course, we have to regulate and adjust our plan for production in order to meet the international demands. As we know that by the end of the year, the farm festivals in the Western countries need a lot of product from China, with Christmas Day, for instance. So all this production will be promoted and stimulated to meet the demands, to assure that China is a responsible country, that even we have some our own difficulties, but we will try to meet all the demands from outside.
How should China balance between its carbon emission reduction goals and safeguarding key energy-intensive industries?
Yeah, this is really a very good question, because many people are confused about the two goals. How can be unified? For instance, the carbon emission and the energy saving industry from both sides, how to coordinate it. This is a very important topic for the government. But I have to say that the carbon emission and energy saving is not a spare to shield. They are not contradictory. We should unify the 2 points, the 2 goals, to support each other. This is the best way to solve the problem. We cannot always say that carbon commission is the number one, and the energy saving companies and the industrial growth is the second behind this. So this is not a well balanced. How to balance this? I think the major efforts should be done by the macro and the micro policies adjustment, because as we know, the central government has already initiated all the measures how to coordinate this consumption of energy shortage. So in this way, I mean that our general situation will be getting better than expected, especially for the next quarter of the economy. I don't think the limitation of the power shortage could be lasting a longer time, but still it's a serious challenge for local government, especially for local authorities, how to modify, how to promote economic growth combined with this carbon emission goal. From both goals should be unified and managed well.
Thank you for your insights. That's Professor Liu Zhiqin for us. Now, digital transformation has become crucial to companies wanting to improve their business, and the outbreak of COVID-19 last year actually sped that up. In China, key technologies like 5G and artificial intelligence are being widely used to create new opportunities and industrial patterns. And the application of industrial robots is also on the rise to support the country's high-end manufacturing development. Zhiqin has more.